Renegade. Man with a friend man in the wilderness. Keep it real and honest round here, no tabloid. None. Hey, good evening. Yes, man. Good evening. Yes, man. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. Worldwide. Yeah, man. The renegade there. All right. So here it is. At the 86th anniversary at the conference, right? 86, right? Yes. 38, 86. That's the 19th of September. Yes. And this, the 19th, I think the 19th of September, 1976. It's at 38 years, the 19th of September, Michael Manley, the key film conference. We will come down bank to bank, 19th of September. Right? Tomorrow will be what? The 15th. We will come back bank to bank now, because Michael Joshua Manley have moved the thing to the stadium. Now, Mark Joshua Jr. Golden move it to the stadium too. Wow. Great thing. Great thing. Yeah, man, people want to see that. And then, but see, somebody sent me something with Big Mama then put out with Andrew Only singer said the third thing, and put it out and say, yeah, are the most corrupted government. Everybody know that. Everybody wanna know it in the ban yet. Who don't know it in the ban. You understand? All who blind and feel it. And you are the master of lies, and them have some people them will spread lies like him to something. You have some people lie about it. But tell me one now, truth comes straight and lie go everywhere. Yes. And then to me, they're 40 years ahead of them. Can you imagine 40 years ago or 38 years ago? Everything when we do documented. Including my movements and everything documented, yes. Because you do something where documented in it still. Year by year, you can't tell the way they did. Because you have to something in recording. You understand? And you have the videos and you have the shows. So it show you where they did. And then you have some crablos that run out and they start about a bullshit. We could start the program, yeah? And we're going to finish up that. And we're going to watch a speech, Sir Manley's speech right now. Because tomorrow, we're going to see where we're going tomorrow again. Place boss again. All right. Start the show once.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till they are my bane. We now make them get in a them and again. None of them boy, we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomber them.
Not a Judas, them a backstabber. I'm my wife, and this straight beauty and glamour. No guy can walk to name me with no dagger. Make the heart of Mandela, but the mind of a Zama in the mold. Like a bull man, we send us the jammer. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Become a lyrical theater. Put up in everything, they load some boy all in a hater.
Oh, renegade. All right. Let me just pick up my family them on here. Let me just pick up my family. Paula, sister, me see Gloria, sister up. Where you say, man? Una, up, man. Where you say? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Francis, me see you now. Oban, see you to man. Azan, see you. Yeah, man. Run through. Yeah, man. White, me see you. That about Davis. Yeah. Empress Jade, what my sister, you good? Joan. Up, MK, bless up, man. Where you say, man? Saying, we have to bless up the whole crew, you know. Yeah, man. We have to big up the whole crew. Where you say? And so we can get into this. We're going to show we will come down from bank to bank. But before we get into that, you Daniel, where you going, brother? Wagwan, Deb, Wagalang, yeah man, greetings. Big up everybody from over Michigan, you know, where you say, man. Saying, yeah man, where you say, big up on yourself, man. Saying, yeah man, all right. I'm getting on this now because this when interested. Well, listen where Joshua Manley that about, you know. I want to hear about the cliques and the all of that. Before we go to that now, look on this now. But then I want my nurse brethren from in Amandeville. You tell, bless man, one of my nurse brethren in Amandeville, tell me a little clippings, a little thing for me here. Just send me today. Can you know, let me tell you something with me. Me not do I thing, you know. And for years, sometimes the tree show there. You see me the right as I do my show. Now you see me in my school, don't it? Yes. Get the name documented here. It can't tell you where you're there and everything, you know. How you do? Because we not do street side things, and we not move. Can you notice we go about where I go about, or come do where I think, and we just do where I do? That's how we live. Yes. Deep that way there, you know. You see me I say? All right. So I'm saying now look on snippet. I want me listening to snippet, tell me for listening it. And the old guy with the tongue or so. Remember this documented too, you know. Documented. Me and Ratty the writer so. Yes. And when that guy come in here, we make him sit on here so una watch in a real time. Yes. Yeah man. Then yeah man, you watch me years ago, MK. Good. So you watch me in a real time and it's documented. Because when the tape it stays. And when we go out there, so we have Ratty and who wrote this with me? Mama Angie, Shernet, everybody out there. Then Ratty, brother and saying, you know, he have to go over. And they look at oldness and them, you know, them leave. Go up on the veranda, see the place nice. And then one of them have to go drive down for go give him back something and that's it. Now the youth send me the thing, the brethren send me the thing, my nurse brethren from Jamaica. And me hear I look at oldness, I say, remember when that when you can't go watch it back. And just look at me and say, thanks to everybody, when you watch it. Yeah. Say them come debrief me. When you know most of that a lie, man, you know watch, you don't watch where they write or stuff. And me say eat some, you know, and get 40 pounds more, put on 40 pounds, man. Eh? Nobody can lie, so you can't be a face and lie, so because they might eat that, you know. Truth comes straight, right? Number one, in the first place, let me tell you something. Factor. If I'm me alone, nobody come at my house. Different from who they are, like my family, who me invite, like Daniel them can come at my place. I'm going to keep a party with everything. Them and them have family and them and them thing. We have a family more by yourself. Different from my artists, brethren, them when them come up. Because our brother, them want to move for decades. When I met them go to restaurant, when I just met them eat and thing. And it's Mama Angie said to me, say, this came courtesy. I'm very reluctant. And she say it again. And I send it to Ratty. I call, same time after Ratty, I send it to Ratty and I call Mystic. Because them man, I'm a family set speed. And them wife, but them did reach airport already. Because them have hold back a plane. And she said, Mama Auntie called me back and said, listen, it will look bad, man. And I send it to Allness. Yes. Send it to Allness, yeah. Call them and said, do it. Somebody else give in to what Mama Auntie said. But if I'm me alone, nobody not come at me. Tell me, I tell you this. See? So nobody could debrief me. No. You go call in my house because my wife said, no, make them have proper breakfast and do this and do that. And I called Ratty and then Mystic. The other one, now I'm not right. I'm going to feel good about it because me never take an hour, go and come. Him give it to a lady, and the lady and her friend and her cousin come. Wish me find it kind of out, but me love it. And it's strong, yes, outside of me. But yet still me hear it for nothing. Them forget last food to him. I talk one bag of bullshit. When I say them debrief me and tell me about a lady. Them debrief me. Yeah? Yeah, man. Them a bless up of it. Them debrief me and tell me no, it can't work because them have a lady for it. So listen me now. You could have come to my place and debrief me on something, but me now you can me not talk to you on something. Me not have you up there to talk to you because you not have this you cool. You could have come in my country and then me talk to you like you are smarty. That don't make no sense. Talk to you about do what? Remember my company them register. It don't make no sense. So all these things are lies. Lies. Remember it record, you can watch the record when them reach out. Watch it back. You did it. We're not going to show them now. We're not giving them no time. See? You know when I call it? Because when it reach you know, all right, and what have you, tell me, say, it's going to do. It's going to take some picture at some dead sister-in-law, something like that. Our wife wants it. Okay? Never have no briefing with nobody because people they write this and they couldn't brief me upon something. There is nothing to the brief me on. Me no guy no nothing for the brief. Number one, the money there for never my man. As this I got. You don't know me talk straight. I think she don't want people feel nowhere when she ask me just to her wife. If I'm me alone, me have my way, because me stay away now, me not too far people. Yes. Yes, this my play my tune, so me not just do that. But the lies dangerous. And you can't laugh suit now. And that's not a joke. You can't call anybody anything. But when you start to lie, and then put it over and repeat your lie now, then we use it and judge you and say, no man, dangerous. Because we have live videos. When them come here and I feed them. When I speak, it depends. When you go watch it back, go look on it a month ago, watch it. Or you debrief, or somebody debrief you when you're outside, so I rat and everybody and then now go away because them go away and then them drive away. Debrief what? Pan what? Me and them doing an argument. And then how is it that my nurse brethren over here tell me where I want? If somebody debrief me, that means them did tell me something, don't it? Me don't know what I want. That's why we talk, because people could have do anything because them laugh with you and I stab in your back, right? So you never know. So if them come out and say something else different, that means a lie I tell. That's just a little old piece of shit. Lie I tell. This is how them lie and be a face. When something record and have you right here. The record right there, so. Africa to sign out where you can just draw back the record and play. But just watch it all the quiet. Just watch it. When you come in, go eat and then eat. Come sit down. And let's see when you get it food and put it back to itself. So which part may have time for somebody come to my place? You come to my place, you don't know my place, come debrief me. And chat a bag of shit. You don't realize these things are recorded. They are recorded. Me live in a life at that where everything run me at camera and everything recorded and everything. But that me live. It have time stamp. See? And say it tell me no because of woman. But yes, still yes, I got to tell me that. That make no sense. Mikey talk to me and make me know what I want. And then I can't get to knock and I think disrespect me. And want me. That I call it. Remember me not know this. Me call it when it reach over. I'm a why me tell hey yo, what me say, me tell them because I don't want to miss. Yes. Me rush it, call it, I rush it, Tell me I tell you this. Because I come like me never said before. Me call it and say, hey, I this me. That fucked up. What you do, I'm a rush it wicked. You don't know my side. You know what it do? You know what it do? It move the argument, the track, and tell me about Ratty and Jeffrey sleep at some better yard. Yes, tell me no know. Remember I think I know. And Jeffrey would have a heart attack because he let go himself and better buy $200 worth of pill. $200. Me no want to hear that. It named it'll be, you understand the track from what me talk about. Yes. So what it do, it move from what me have rush it, can me call it and rush it. Because when my brethren tell me what I want, I say, you could be behind my back on the day and I laugh with me and this is what you do. You don't do that. You can't come on my and I remember tell you, it wouldn't be a problem for me. Because I can't wait though. Me have already started. And nobody can rule my head, no. Okay? So me have my people them on me. If you look at you can't be in a fool. If me If you call me and me have people around me and you call me 2 months before, I just call and do the thing and every can do it. Me now come and your thing. I want to me now do, me not disrespect you. So me now go come and your thing and call people to come and your thing and recruit nobody. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay far and do what me I do and everything. That is the problem. You cannot see people do them things and you come and you violate people in a little way. You're like, you know, have the end peace. You were sick individual. I'm not asking you. And you forget last word. Can you put that shit? And not about our money laundering. Money laundering. I make a raper. Raper will carry coke. Me not ask if him sell a coke and carry coke for him. Me not ask. I owe him the round and talk to me. The police them, the one them are going him rape people. That is a criminal. The young drunk are criminal. Yes, criminal. I'm a talk for him the pan tape. But me have it. Because you know me not come and me not do tabloid. But him himself has them shoot you to water for. But it is harder not to kill him. That is crime. That is crime. Him run and talk about him shoot the next one and one and him run, we go tell him where he use. Not me. Police talking. Remember me have them talk to me and tape and give me. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. See? So the one of these things them talk. Because they don't want to, you know. They that one. I'm not going them up the same way. You know, me now when me tell you, me not call nobody and go like me. Actually, me just tell them my mind. But these are all the way people can lie and not realize when you come here, so if you got to the front of that camera and that time stamp. You couldn't come, why, or you come on my place, you don't know my place and leave me. Then you always cause an argument. If somebody else tell me, oh, you tell me that, and you are going to give fool because me steer this. These are all lies. Who don't know that, from here that you don't know that garbage. Then go on. So that the man tell loan because they try to recruit people behind him back. See, now come at and then them get up, eat, nasty piece of shit, get up and attack these things. Me never even listened before. And my wife was saying, yeah, I get to tell people this garbage. Because you know, me not listen to them. Me not listen to them. Not listen to them. I remember when me said so, look here. When me hear them attack, them I hear that too, you know. Because they don't know this. Look here. You see this? That name suit. And this, you notice that star this? You see it might loan some win millions? Look on it, good. Loan some win million judgment. Me the suit. See that star? Okay. So nobody think we don't know about suit. We know about all of these things. It's a woman. We know about all of these things. We know this, but we in case. Because them don't know this. So them, you know, when them head pull up pick kind of things and then when I have them more book, me just wait. But me, no step on head not hurt me very serious for what me have. Yes, them are not professional. Them are shit. Me will deal with them case. You understand? I will. See? Because me not have time to keep teeth and back and forth with some little punk. No time. Me see what's down me look. Me keep it that way. See? More talking don't mean nothing to me. Just make sure you get the thing straight. And you see the lie there when you go all over the place, no make no sense. Because there is no way. Me, if I never my wife, it could not put no foot on yourself. Put short therapy, give them the same treatment like how I do my artists, brother them. And sister them. You know them way that when you see them coming in, whether Lucian or Luki, and only that see them young, we good. You understand we good, don't it? I remember my thing them different anywhere at all. I'm going, look at Empress. You live over so. You know John Peel, don't it? Empress? You see my kind of, you know, maybe apps. I know, you know, them people are more white people and them thing there because technically you next thing what we control to, you know. We're not there for burger and boss. We don't have no time for them. But when them get up and them chat about bullshit, you have to grab them up. That's what the other one have to hide. You know, something that hide, we grab them. You know, John Peel, tell me if you know. All right, look on this, Empress. Look on this.
John Peel and them thing. The man that move the way getting see there. We're the one, BBC, we're the one DJ. Yeah, from 1967. You see it? That's a John Peel. You see it? BBC, we're the one DJ.
You must forget to, you know.
I think him there in a thing there, you know. Him dead. In a awful, you see it? See there? OBE, John Peel. Yeah, man, I move the music and I show you image of John Peel. So John Peel.
John Peel. BBC, wait a minute.
So when you see me in the place, I them thing we dominate, man. See them see the great John Peel. Yeah, man, I them thing. And then you see BBC playlists in North America, them depend it, with we and the bug. I'm not sure you who name the bug, them and them thing. This is what we do. Straight. See Marian Ups here. And if you look at Marian, all right, BBC with the one. Look, the bug feature me alone, son.
What
Track
that?
listing. Yes.
What is?
See? So because what the bug them do, and then remix the tune in a techno thing and put them your name front of your name, You understand? See that?
Who is the Pan Brother one playlist, sir? There are millions of people. They get big money for when you play over there some more anyways. Right? Who the Pan playlist? Not me.
BBC with the one, see? You know, show you the track listing.
Listen me about that fella.
See? They have track listing like them thing, alright, like this. See there? Track listing, the box.
Maybe
Give an up.
Yeah, everything in it. Look at timestamp. Look at timestamp. People look at the time too, always look on the date.
Breathe back. I show the name breathe back. You see it? Come down, see there. You doing some buckle up, sack out. And then come down. You see anything else when we have on them, Because them have to do them thing because I forgot to, PRS and you get, See that BBC, them thing you would do in England. So let me show you some of the man them where cause we want to take the music come in them place, Take the music away that have millions of white people listen to, Teach them something.
Teach them something. Look at
a session I mark Peel session, live radio.
All right.
See the radio one.
You know the place Empress? Live session radio one. Meadowvale, London. Look on this. Bug versus look at
BBC this,
I see the time there.
See it? Meadowvale. Somewhere at the Bug London. Look at who. You couldn't know somebody right there, sir?
How would this front of me there, sir? Who that? I made a veil this, Who this?
Somebody right there, sir. You want some? Alright. So, alright. I'll show you something now.
Look at it.
But tell us everything what we do documented, Remember, we depend everything, Remember, play this. Remember, say it can't play. Oh, I got the picture.
We're going to the place, ready in the place, I see. Watch that. It's all made to sound of the ball. Rasburger, Warrior Queen, Wheel Lord, Mexican versus Somebody. Somebody, I got kill you in the game, I got bring in the coffee.
See you on some?
Watch you in the best here.
It's a BBC radio one, yeah? Meadowvale live, yeah? It's the one something there, and I'm at it.
That's it. A pure style around. When I run the place, let's go to the place, 120 degrees, I'm on fire on that nation. Drive this on, come on, this man, fire in the place. I saw it around, by the box sound system. Somebody ever show me to I saw it around, come on. I saw it around.
I show no name son that. I show the people them up the seat, The buggers doing it. This is a BBC with the one, yeah? They may know you call it techno music,
I understand. Somebody, we are come for you, understand what I'm talking about? Jamal, I saw what I stay the bugger.
You them rhythm there, man.
Everything documented, man. It's up there.
Watch him on some now.
So that's moving at that.
I'm going to say this is some loan somewhere. Because they name a techno music, they man of people. I mean, you want techno music, Yeah, man. Remember, if I talk after that,
I'm moving.
I go to the straight thing, yeah. I go to it like this. So I'm going to go to it like this. So we can get it like this, you know.
See, we can just go on it and see, but you see that meant to say. The self and that.
Yeah, man. Pick it up, man. To the BBC, yeah, man. I don't see. You see the archive and take this out, huh? You take out the archives in November 14, BBC. Medieval. You see? And you see how old are the people? Alone to themselves, man. And that's at the background they say, you know.
Alright.
So, you know, take the music, you know, them have the fast with them, where the whole of them go listen, you know. We rule it, you know. Learn some ruling thing, you know.
Now you run some.
Yeah.
Who are you? Are you here with the mic attack now, you know?
The techno music this year. Yeah, man.
You want some, right? You want some? Yeah. These are live session at Medaville. Read on. Yep. All these things documented. And stuff there, stuff every year, every date, and everything. You can't take me and place me nowhere. Nowhere. No guy. No time. All these things documented from 1986 come right up. You can't place me nowhere, man. And that's nearly 40 years, 30 days ago, like 39, soon 39. You can't place me nowhere. You didn't do it. Alright, so we'll ease up this because we're going everything now. So these are the things I'm telling you. Everything I do, remember I documented. Every day on BBC, I on the biggest radio, the biggest TV, them documented. So I know just Jamaica, but down at the islands, over and anywhere you go, documented. They on all these radio, everything is documented. When your vice for record it documented. You can't place me nowhere. Nowhere. So I'm do just slide down and just ease myself and just lasso them are shit. You understand me? And them live different life, you know. Yeah? You can't go to and just start about a fuck and you get up. People can they write as a sit down and that documented too. And get up at about you come brief me. Brief me with what I mean you not talk. If you not talk for nothing, now come not why oh you can brief me. For what? You couldn't talk to me. Talk to me about what? Eat some food and be nice. And fuck off. The other guy never talk and nothing at all. I mean, call them and wild them up when them reach back over, so yeah? And them tell me about people sleep at them place, yeah? Nothing else. Them two fucking lie. You understand? And they not talk about a fucking thing. Me so straighten them. So straighten them. Them are shit. Anyway, I'm just move to this. I'm move to Joshua. Because we're going to talk about river come down bank to bank now. So we're going to listen. We're going to listen to part 2 of this and we're going to hear what the clip. Yeah, man, people, when people lie, man, when you run them, man, wicked, man. You can't so be a face where you listen. It's coming like you are going to a bank and you are going to a camera. And then you tell people something different. That don't make no sense. You please let me tell me chat to so I'm going to go yasso because I might do This will me tell lie, so I can continue to tell lie and people are believe in my lie. All me have proof. It don't make no sense. Then everybody ever say no, but reality, but watch you sit down right, yes, and yam food. You couldn't have brief the woman and her cousin the right and then go out this and then go everybody out there. So you go through that door, yeah. And if you know the place here, when you go out there, everybody can see you. And then them leave. And go to the place nice and what have you, and them have to go your son, then them leave. What kind of debrief? What the fuck is that? A debrief about what? Not good, so. Men a guy never have no talking about nothing. And if I never my wife, them couldn't put a foot here. Because that was my idea in the first place, wasn't? You understand? So maybe just pass that shit. So I'm call, remember, you know, me not call nobody and ask them if we can do this and do that. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. See? I'm a man G. If I never listen, if you ask her, she will tell you, because she's the more nicer part of me, you know. Because when my brain tell me, you know, don't move this, I'm gonna move. I'm not really fun of people, I'm not put people. Remember, you know, the same this, let me show you something. Remember, we learn the thing. And back then, as she used to tell me, say, you can't do this. And I said, no, man, I'm a virgin. And this lead up to this. And from this happen, see that? Let me show you again. Let me show you, see that? See it? At least make this happen. Never bring a lawsuit. And you honestly, see that? Remember, me not talk things where we have nothing to go. You see that it come out, that listen, it documented. It's there. See? That this, we still loan some win millions or so. Yeah? At the time, my father was shall say because, you know, you take some people for friends. So true that me not do that again, you know. Me don't do it. So, you know, you want to be price shy. So, you know, if I never see this time, no, sir. See, I'm going to try to give it. See that? Loan some win millions. See that? Million judgment. This is a lawsuit. Okay? Lawsuit. That's similar. Lawsuit is. See? Yes. See? Some know about lawsuit and then me do it. No win lawsuit. And them chat them fuck and do them fuck with, you straighten them out. Me no not fuck with them. You understand? Me no fuck with. Now real warrior. I mean I fear you there. You know, I want to be a big man, my grandfather. I cannot use dying and them thing there. But yes, because you know, youthful, but we not boy. So we respect we age and we respect ourselves and you know, we do things that we know. With my advance about 40 years ahead of them. Because one of these things, I remember everything of it documented for your youth and for generation and for prove at all times because you have to expect the unexpected at all times. Not for them are really smart. Them feel if you got out first and you say something, then people are catch it and then them can run with it and say all kind of things. And I said, word, I'll be uno watch. They walk up in a this and it record, it's up there, it's not gone. So when you see that's about what you mean by debrief? What you mean to the man that do money laundering and money laundering? So you live in a them big place and do money laundering and you know you have some problem and go on a long time. Financial institution on the draw down pan and police take you away and do all kind of things, man. What can I fuck with them attack? That name lawsuit. That name lawsuit. These are all craps. See? I'm going around and spreading one bag of fuckery. But them debrief. You can't debrief somebody, man. Debrief. Listen. One good thing with me know that when you have married couple, debrief and deep antiguan. Me no know nothing else about no debrief. No man can debrief me. Me don't talk. You understand? Yes. Yeah, man. You understand? We no work so. Still, no, we don't know say that a foolishness. Because we know witness it here, so you know, we have a tank stone and right to the so. That come in and to the so. Give that to the so. All that a foolishness. Let me start with that thing the right now to know. Yeah. But remember no say them foolish said go run and tell people, you know. And just still it the pan video. It the pan video. And what we step out this and do what we out there. And then go in the crafter. So me and nobody, me remember you know, if me not going or something when me and you talk about nothing, me do what me have to. So listen, I could have called round your back for you there. See? Let me tell you. The youth are joke, you know. The youth are joke. Hey, remember go and play this and call a youth, you know, because a youth have him want to show me off. Remember go listen to him because I have a call him myself. I don't, yeah, hey. Remember go and play this. Remember go and play this here. Let me start from that one.
Sunday, September 19, 1976, a never-to-be-forgotten day in Jamaica's history. As the sun blazed down on the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, tens of thousands of people came together in unity and love to pledge their solidarity with the People's National Party and democratic socialism. They came from remote villages. They came from towns. They came from the city. Snow cone vendors, teachers, impact workers, doctors, lawyers, small farmers, factory workers came to take part in the public session of the 38th Annual Conference of the People's National Party. The historic session was planned for the National Arena. From the night before, comrades began arriving in buses and trucks. Many set up makeshift beds outside the arena, and in the wee small hours of the morning, coal pots were aglow as camping comrades prepared an early breakfast. Long before starting time, the arena was full and overflowing. PNP River had come down from bank to bank. And when the gathering of comrades overflowed outside the arena and they came from remote villages. They came from towns. They came from the city. Snow cone vendors, teachers, impact workers, doctors, lawyers, small farmers, factory workers came to take part in the public session of the 38th Annual Conference of the People's National Party. The historic session was planned for the National Arena. From the night before, comrades began arriving in buses and trucks. Many set up makeshift beds outside the arena, and in the wee small hours of the morning, coal pots were aglow as camping comrades prepared an early breakfast. Long before starting time, the arena was full and overflowing. PNP River had come down from bank to bank. And when the gathering of comrades overflowed outside the arena and into the street, the meeting moved to the National Stadium. And what a lesson in discipline and unity it was, as groups of comrades moved as one to the strains of old party songs. It was a day of rejoicing. It was a day of comradeship. It was the fourth day of the most successful party conference Jamaica had ever seen. Many comrades and friends representing our brothers and sisters of the progressive world came to share in the glory of the socialist movement. They brought messages of inspiration and solidarity. They left full of hope for Jamaica's future. The National Stadium became alive with singing and cheering as comrades hailed the comrade leader of the People's National Party, the Honorable Michael Manley, Prime Minister of Jamaica. And he spoke as he never spoke before. His was the voice of the people, expressing our struggles and our hopes for the future. Hearts were full as 40,000 comrades rededicated themselves to the building of democratic socialism. We were one with our leader as we pledged that we were not for sale, and as we said with great meaning, we know where we are going.
You are fighting to build.
And now, the comrade leader of the People's National Party, the Honorable Michael Manley, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
We are struggling to build something new. And we may suffer while we struggle. But the suffering that you endure when you struggle is worth enduring, because you know what you are fighting to build, and because you know where you are going. And we know where we are going. And I want to thank you, because always I believe that the masses have the faith, they have the courage. All they need is the organization and the leadership and the dedication to the building of a new world. And I thank you, the masses of Jamaica, because every time that we, the leadership, have felt doubt, we have turned to you, and you have given us the courage to move forward and to fight on. God bless you, the people of this country. This conference has had a profound impact on everybody who has lived through it. And I want to give thanks on your behalf to all the delegates who came from abroad to stand with us at this momentous time in Jamaica's history. And we ask that they all take back our greetings and our thanks, and to tell their colleagues at home that we know that they came to Jamaica because the world knows that Jamaica is at a moment of destiny. We are at a moment of destiny, comrades. We are at a moment of destiny. We have watched the forces at work, and when they hear of your presence here today, oh, what a weeping and a wailing. There are certain places in the world today that when they hear of how you came in your thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and tens of thousands to stand for socialism, there will be a weeping and a wailing. Today, I do not need to make a speech. You have made the speech for me. Comrades, before I say my few words, because in this atmosphere, I cannot give the speech that I planned. I had planned a major speech, but I do not believe you can hear a major speech today. You must tell me. I don't know if you can take it in the sun. I don't know if you can listen and concentrate. But I will be guided by your judgment. And if you say speak, Joshua will speak.
The comrade leader described the conditions which existed in Jamaica during the first 10 years of independence.
Bauxite industry was booming in the world. International capitalism was going through one of its periods of prosperity and expansion. We had just become independent, and our rulers had the opportunity to address themselves to the suffering of their land in the middle of the most favorable conditions the world had ever known. And what did they do with those years? At the end of the time, unemployment had doubled. For every one human being that had no work, in 1962, there were 2 that were suffering by 1972. Out of every 10 young people that were looking for training and education beyond the age of 15, 8 out of 10 had to look at the blank wall of poverty. Only 2 could get any training. There were 450,000 small farmers who had nothing but hillside rockstone to scratch. Our bauxite was being mined out of our country like dirt for a pittance. There had been a government in power for 10 years that dared to call itself labor. And in 10 years, they had never passed one serious piece of legislation to protect the rights of so much as one worker in Jamaica. Women would work their hearts out beside men and draw less pay. When children were born, most of them were called illegitimate and had no real rights in law. The land was writhing under the lash of victimization. Corruption was everywhere in the nation. And there was no Jamaican to be found anywhere who could have pride to say, I am a Jamaican. The country was bankrupt spiritually, bankrupt morally, and in the years, those who had been wealthy had grown more wealthy. Those who had been privileged had grown more privileged. Those who were poor had grown poorer, and those who had no rights had sunk deeper into despair. And the people of Jamaica looked at that, and they said, no more, no way. And those are the people that now want to come back. No way. No way. And comrades, the reason why we were in that condition, because we, the Jamaican people, were trapped. We were trapped in a world system that we call imperialism, and we were trapped in a local system that we call capitalism. And we set about in 1972 with your mandate for change. But we realized that there could be no change in this country unless we were prepared to change the system, unless we were prepared to join the international struggle against imperialism, and unless we were prepared to reorganize Jamaica to replace the capitalist system with a socialist system.
The comrade leader then analyzed the capitalist system.
Capitalism is a system that works by certain laws. And when I talk of capitalism,
Mama mute. What is this key real leader? Real leader. Yeah. So this keenly on here. Listen where Sir Manley has a writer so keenly. Listen everything where I say keenly. Yeah. You might tell about capitalism and you might tell about socialism and things that follow them. Yeah.
I am not talking about the hearts of men. There are good men and bad men in any system. There are good sons and not so good sons in any family. I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about a system. The system of capitalism is based on an economic arrangement in which the surplus of wealth that is made out of production is held by the private hands that own the productive machine. And only those hands decide what to do with that surplus. And if the hands happen to be good hands, they will divide some. If those who work and are exploited by the process, if they are militant in a trade union, they will fight and get some. But the system is designed to keep the surplus that makes the wealth in the hands that own the productive machine. And when we talk of imperialism, we are talking of international capitalism and the way it works. And if we look at our country, when you talk of how a few get richer and richer and the many get poorer and poorer, it does not happen because of the heart of men. It doesn't happen because men are good men or bad men. It happens because that is the only way the system can work. And when you look at our sugar and how over the years we cannot get a price for it, and over the years our wealth is pouring out to buy heavy equipment as the small nations are exploited by the rich and the powerful. It is not because the people of the big nations are bad people or good people. It is because the system is bad. And we are dedicated, with God's help, in this small country, in our small way, to look at that system outside of imperialism and to play our fight, to defeat it, to change it, and one day to replace it with a new system that we call the new international economic order. And that is why we are a part of the trade union of the poor. That is why our struggle is an international struggle. Inside Jamaica, we are also determined to replace and change and remove the system of capitalism and replace it by building brick upon brick, step by step, the new system of democratic socialism. My friends, what have we done along that path, and what effect has it had? Because make no mistake, the reason why we are struggling now, the reason why we are suffering what we are suffering now, is because there are forces in the world and inside Jamaica that want to turn us back. And why do they want to turn us back? Not because we are who we are, not because I am Michael Manley, not because my colleagues are who they are, but because they know that we are determined to change that system. And there is a clique of people who are the beneficiaries of that system. And some of them, not all, some of them are determined to preserve the system. But we shall overcome. We shall overcome. And let us look at what has happened along the road of the struggle to build socialism. And then let us look at what it is that the clique is angry about and why they fight us. Let us look at some of the things that we have done. I start with the special employment program. The special employment program. This program has given thousands of mothers the opportunity to protect their families for the first time in history. We have started land reform. For the first time, tens upon tens of thousands of acres of good flat land.
But the other people, this is the same land we own this. This is the same land we go over this, we're going to take from all the people then. Land reform start for the, we want to take note of these things. For the first time, you have Prime Minister do, and you hear him talk to the people and what it means for the people. Me not talk about, you know, you're going to feel it 3 years or something. Them man has take trend. We live through the whole of theme thing, you know? Live through it. So we live through the whole of theme thing from him coming, you know, with the boat from, you know, the 60s. So in the 72, we live through theme things. Yes. And about tell you one set. Saying, and you much people that see what him do. You want what him say. And you can't talk this way. Leave on here. Lie, let's see. Continue.
I'm moving to the small farmers at last.
Yes.
And we have said to the small farmer, we have said, you who took to the hills to escape from slavery and who have been condemned by capitalism and colonialism to the hillside land for 120 years. We have said, come down off that hillside now and enter into your patrimony upon the flatlands of your nation.
Hold on, just man. Joshua Junior come deal back with a case of me. Yeah, the man gone back and not slavery, remember in 76. So if you say them depend that say 120 years, 1876, and then you take off the next 20 after the 70, put you 1856. And then when the emancipation, when them say them about slave in a 1838, and you pitch up like goat, like mountain goat past on the side, you know, nothing. You went though, we wine. You put things in a place to the people, them and make you good. Me not come at you. But you can't step in a people neck. When them give a job for do you go like the place for you. Me are the boss. When you know that you're the chief servant of the country, you know, good. Talk to them, Joshua.
The opportunity to protect their families for the first time in history. We have started land reform. For the first time, tens upon tens of thousands of acres of good flat land are moving to the small farmers at last. And we have said to the small farmer, we have said, you who took to the hills to escape from slavery and who have been condemned by capitalism and colonialism to the hillside land for 120 years. We have said, come down off that hillside now and enter into your patrimony upon the flatlands of your nation. We have started to organize cooperatives. Human beings that used to be grass weeders are now the owners and controllers of the lands and the production where they used to labor alone. Glory to socialism. The children that were born out of wedlock matter not whether they were part of a stable home, matter not anything, were inferior under the law. And at one stroke, we have created one of the most fundamental changes in the condition of the Jamaican people by the Status of Children Act, which says that every child that is born to this nation shall be equal in the sight of God, in the sight of man, in the sight of woman, and in the sight of posterity.
Prosperity, another thing thief, you know, Andrew. But from poverty to prosperity. In the sight of prosperity. You see where that come from? Because they listen to these things that I'm studying. You know, Andrew. I want thing, you know, you see when you have great man, you study all these things. You study the world. You know. Place animals and things. Study human being. Study them move, you know, human psychology. You study all of these things. Small mind, discuss it. Average mind, them not have nothing neither. Small mind, average mind, great mind. You listen, you learn. You study the one of them, you know where they move a thing. You hear this? The prosperity where keep it from? Right one, so. Yeah, copy it.
To the law. And at one stroke, we have created one of the most fundamental changes in the condition of the Jamaican people by the Status of Children Act, which says that every child that is born to this nation shall be equal in the sight of God, in the sight of man, in the sight of woman, and in the sight of posterity. And comrades, when you
don't even move that. So remember this, you know. So you have a lot of people born out of wedlock, you know. Yeah, them mother and father never married. So if anything happens, you have no rights, nothing at all. In change that. So even the man go out there to get a youth, you have to look about them equally. And them have equal status too. So if your father is rich, and him go out there to come get you, and you know, him drop out, and then, you know, him with us say, yo, him go out there to get you, you know, say, me never not look upon him. No, the law say, listen. Prove time father, him have equal rights to the year. Him by the X amount, 3 months after the two. Like, same like the rest of kids say. Same way. Them equal. Great thing. Yeah, man.
Look at the things we have done. You ask yourself, why does the clique hate us so? Why do they fight us so? So first of all, let me remind you who the clique is. I'm going to tell you who the clique is. The clique are the controllers of capital who resist change. The clique are the beneficiaries of imperialism who resist change. The clique are the developers who abscond with the people's money and take up residence abroad, skulking away like thieves in the night, leaving citizens to suffer behind them. Those are the clique. And the ones that stole the money of the poor people with their houses, they lie about in Miami, loll about in Toronto, and they dream of the day when we will be defeated so they can come back to scalp the people some more. But let the word go to them in Toronto, those who stole the people's money, and let it go to them in Miami, that they will never live to see that day. They will never live to see that day. And one day, the laws of the world may be such. One day, the laws of the world may be such that people who committed economic crimes in Jamaica, who stole poor people's money for houses, who went away with that money like thieves in the night, and who now take the sweat and the labor of the Jamaican people to enjoy themselves abroad, let them beware. One day the laws of the world may be such that the hand of justice will reach out from Jamaica and snatch them back to come to trial at home. But comrades, the clique is not, and I want you to be clear about this, the clique is not the businessman who has built an honest business, who has produced, who has helped his workers cooperatively, who looks forward with the attitude, how can I adapt and change to meet the goals of democratic socialism? Those people are not the clique. And we are proud of them. We welcome them. And we look forward to cooperating with them in the building of the Jamaica of the future. The clique is not the developer who cares for the rights of his client and who builds a genuine home for that client and who now says, how can I cooperate and adapt my methods to meet the new goals of the nation? That man is not the clique. And we welcome that man and look forward to his help in the building of the Jamaica of the future. But the clique are there. And they are spending their money like wine. And how have the clique operated and why do they operate? The clique operate, first of all, because they realize that this government would not accept a Jamaica that was controlled in the interest of a minority. And that we were going...
So you fight against a man like this. And Uno, I got follow some government. That's a We got trample and step in your neck. It's not good. Don't good. Doctors are flying not good. Yes. You are fight for hold back the poor and hold back the country, and then I tell the people them say you do good when you hold them back. Nothing in there for them. Nothing. We never not ask. We never not ask. It's wicked. Continue.
To build a Jamaica that was controlled by the majority of the people. Secondly, they are up in arms because when they realized that our system of taxes was forcing them to pay for the upkeep of the nation for the first time.
For the first time. Force them. That's why them fight. That's why peer soldiers stay so. And I'm going to call out them names. I'm going to call them out. So we're not get about it. We're not going wrong.
But use the income tax dodging arrangement.
Yeah.
And suddenly realized that they were going to have to pay taxes. They became angry.
Yeah.
And they became angry when they looked at land reform and saw that we would no longer allow private people to decide whether land was to be held idle or to be used. And that we
held idle or to be used. Because they might held idle and the poor people them squat up and two and call them squatter. And they are born in a Jamaica, not supposed to go on. You see it? And you fight a man like this, and talk kind of evil against a man like this, where make you go to school and do all kind of things. Anybody do that, them for charge of treason. You not play politics with them, man. Yeah, man, there. You not play politics with Manley. Don't do it. You understand? You not do it. See? Now, let me show you something where you must do this. I'm going to do a program like this, right? Reason. Man, the born in the avenue. Oldest born in the have not. But him come down. Remember, I fight that thing. And it's a scholar too, you know. Go check him. Well educated, well, have everything up the field. And him come down here and fight for the command man. And me, some people say, I'm dead poor. Say, if a man willing to dead and show you, say, me no want nothing, but just want to know better off feeling the future. A man like this, if you preserve. I remember, you know, going the world, them know him. And them know what him do and what him stand for. See, from the backside level go right back all them farm that thing they like, oh, them have OPEC. Where him at the 8 feet and him fight the big boys them. Where you talk about you have to salute man like this. You can't go around it. So some guy play politics and then try to brainwash some people. Remember, you know, me, that man, you can't brainwash me. You know, but that's evidence of things. You know? That's why, you know, when me call and tell me I study a lot of things. You know? And we take the step, make sure everything documented on me. So when you do some book, I can grab you if I want, grab you. Piece of shit. You understand? Because remember tell you, not all we have on earth no belongs to we, you know, nothing. So we don't care what man send for the millions and much billions and all they want to do is live clean. Yeah. And stand firm. Yes. Because one day I shut up when it's shutting up. Nothing. And someone say dead poor. When you're dead, you're poor, you know have nothing. You don't even have water. Nothing. Go them bury in that, then give them bury in them, put in our box and put in everything go wrap. Yes. Nobody now dig you back for use you. What you do? You're gone. You're down there. No care what catch you, nobody no business with it. Nobody. Them no cater. They become by the great top if nobody then again. And then when you them get old, them not secret. The grandparents them worse. The great grand them worse. When it comes to our nation, most of we, you know, especially you come from certain things and house, you know. Saying, you know, so you don't stand there. Unless they're famous now, you know, people come here and them want to see. Same way it go. You understand? Yeah, man. Yeah, man, free education, free the whole of that go right back. The man do work. So with that said, when you do, you use a man like Joshua Manley. At the standard this. You have to try build something higher than this. I'll come even closer to this. Not the chatting, but at the action. Remember, you know, 76, September 76 when I'm talking, you know. Yeah? Before the election. This is before the election. See? Before him second term start. So the first term, everything we hear him attack about him doing a one term. The first term. And then the second term, and then he come back about everybody ever feel this and make stability. And then they'll run back and talk about a piece of shit. When come out and talk about prosperity. Half a mandate thing. Them love use mandate thing. We never work stuff. Play it.
We were not begging, but that we were using the force of law and the sovereign power of the people to put that land to work and put it into the hands of those that needed to work it and would work it.
So the private guy, them private sector now, poor people get the land and them use the power and then do this. Remember, I'm up there no hungry, you know. But him that come down here and rub it to do no. We shake the man and too. Enough people meet him. Can you imagine now one prime minister this? Where most everybody in Jamaica meet, you know. Can go everywhere go shake hand from your youth. You're there for every man there say, yeah, I'm a shake man there and you know, me in person, you know. Because him come and him go everywhere. Him do it. Him do it, man. All over the place. Him do it. Yeah, man. Continue.
And when they saw the sugar worker control begin on the cooperatives, the clique finally said, no, they will not accept that. And so they took their stand and decided to fight us.
Fight us.
And what has the clique really done? It has taken possession of its economic fortress, built upon the foundations of capitalism, surrounded by the moat of economic imperialism, and guarded by the light and heavy artillery of those sections of the press and media that they control. And from that fortress of privilege, they have proceeded to their strategy.
And matter of fact, when they are going poker, you see the man they used to pay them little church thing and everything. It like it have been in the 60s movements, and the same thing, man. They have the church thing and the thing them have the PMP band. See that PMP choir? Yes. Yeah.
And looked at the strategies of the clique.
What did the clique do? First of all, it took final control of the Jamaica Labour Party. And
this here what them do? The final control. So we're not going down with them. That's why yesterday when I get the power and I'm mashing up. And it works now. It works. Yeah, it works. See that? But you can't catch some people like this because you're not out for the masses. And it shows. It's stepping at them neck. You see a man when them in our position, me say Andrew already attack with the police and them can't trust the police. And I say a girl have a baby at swing so. See? And dead man Mackenzie did about there and all kind of thing. See? Yes. You know, work for the people that man move the red tape, man. You don't do it in an election and road and talk permit for road and all kind of things. It's not work. Stop foolishness. Forget it.
The comrade leader then looked at the strategies of the clique.
what did the clique do? First of all, it took final control of the Jamaica Labour Party. And the Jamaica Labour Party is now the instrument and the yo-yo of the clique.
People may ask, you know, is that Chris may go now? Who is the instrument and yo-yo of the clique? The PSOJ. Come out tell you what the clique do, you know. I call out them name too. Same way. Yeah, the clique. What the instrument? You know, right? From Andrew, look here. Let me check them now. Look at them, no, you know. Not beg them write it. I want to watch it. Watch out.
The comrade leader then looked at the strategies of the clique.
What did the clique do? First of all, it took final control of the Jamaica Labour Party. And the Jamaica Labour Party is now the instrument and the yo-yo of the clique. And the Labour Party of today is not the Labour Party of 30 years ago. It is now the yo-yo of the clique. The second strategy was propaganda.
What do it now? And anybody when you see them have done that, them do. Them just come out and think it like a stick. But let me tell you one word. You do it with PJ like them, and then them run up and down with boss. Say, him now have no wife, this and that and that and that. And when them are real admiral, them just come out and talk kind of things, you know. Very real admiral. Yeah? Them come out and talk kind of thing. Push them say, she did that, and them spread them propaganda. No way you do now, you counter them with you have a big platform and you make them talk. And you want them, you know, if you can't last, you can't do them anything. You make them put it down and then you fact check them. Fact check them. Like what you hear the people and them dog and cat and everything and low. You know, the place that they say, hey, we don't have nobody running, nobody. Can you remember, you know, if you have a dog or you hurt a dog, you know, some police are come for you, don't it? You know, you think you are going to call police, nobody not put up with that. You know, people run up and down with that. That's others. Go and under them. Them like spread propaganda. Like big mama them, the other them. Be a propaganda. Them to stop it. Them need to stop it. Continue play.
And they let loose upon Jamaica the most vicious propaganda this country has ever seen. You are bombarded day and night with every lie and falsehood. And they watch to see if you would lose faith. And when
they don't know them come up with it, every lies and falsehood, them do it fake. So you see what them do, and then use it back, you know, them playbook. By vote, them do this, them do everything for up to a democratic process. And then them use lie to try to cover it up. Nah, bro, lie go all about, you know. Straight come one way. Truth come one way, straight. But lie they all over the place, you know. Yes. Somebody come and say bloop bloop bloop, and then them come and tell the next type and you say bloop bloop bloop. And I say, I'll produce them things and them can't do it. You understand? Them just come and just chat. Because them say people are either people are just believe in a no, sir. People want to see evidence of the thing now, man. It's a foolish, it's garbage. Play again.
You showed them in the by-elections of last year that you were now socialist conscious and aware, and beginning the march on the road to building a socialist society. They realized the propaganda had failed. So then we had the third stage of the strategy, which was gunmanship and violence.
So you're who carrying gunmanship and violence now? Him tell you. So when they come out and say, well, the two, this not go some. Gunmanship and violence, people forced to defend themselves. Remember what the road them used to black and all kind of things. Then can't tell me that, you know. And you have to wake up and about a man down there, so. They in the road and I look out and all kind of little things and you're up here, so. On your road and I say you can't just go sleep and sleep then and people are coming to come burn you out or come kill you out. So it make you sit down in an early morning when you're supposed to get your bed and listen out. This is how bad it get. Eh? They make foreign power come in our country and do foolishness. Continue.
And the guns barked. And the fires raged.
But that's all that man they are born even that one too, know. You can talk to some people with big and guns and rape the people, you know. And listen to them there, you know. You have some people them fool, you know. You listen garbage. Eh? You understand? You know, listen to some jokes, some people rape the people and try to answer 13-year-old little girl and the boys too. See, you know, when up and down and put up something because you have something and talk foolishness. Then you want to associate with criminal. These criminals after them not criminal. That make them not criminal. It's terrible. See there, fire rage and gun back. And even they put them under manners.
And they hope that in the back of the guns and the raging of the fire that you would lose faith and turn back. And you are meant to feel that we could not manage it.
So you hear him say you make you feel like you could not manage it. Because them attack you with gun, shot and fire. Not true. Them burn down place and them come shoot and things. When do he put them on the manners? That's why I'm going to do African court.
And that better you retreat. And then we'll put the guns and the fire under heavy management. And when they realized that had failed, they now came to the fourth and final assault against us. And that is the squeeze on the economy. The squeeze on the economy. And right now, you understand.
You know clearly where my talk. You know. The squeeze and the death are the final thing with them come with the squeeze and the economy. Him tell her plainly.
Me plainly. When you talk of economic sabotage, they will say to you, how do you prove it? But I will tell you what the answer is. A man who is asked to expand his business and willfully says, unless you bow to me, I will not expand it. Unless you turn back the progress, I will not expand my business. That man is also guilty of sabotage by willful non-cooperation. And there is plenty of that in Jamaica today.
There is plenty of that because you see them on the life that when God control the place. In a slavery kind of way and it's bad. Bad.
Understand, comrades, if the price of their expanding the business is to turn back the progress and to betray the people and betray the masses, that is a price we will never pay.
Yeah, if him not betray the masses and he never do it, him say nah do it. Nah do it. Nah do it. Yeah.
We will never pay that price. We will never pay that price. We will never pay that price. But let them understand, we ask for the cooperation. But understand, if they will not cooperate, the socialist movement will find other ways to run the industries. Look at what we have lived through.
Yes. Talk about the wow, don't say this. Yes.
In 1973, we begun to feel the lash of world inflation. The prices for the wheat that you take to make the flour and use the flour to make the bread and the dumpling. All of a sudden, the price go up 5 times. We couldn't do nothing about it except prepare to change the world in time. The oil prices, one lick, raised 4 times. This little country paying out.
You notice with Mandy, in the eye them thing I make something sound like Anjo, look on the difference. Look on the difference. Totally look on the difference. Him tell you that we are going in the world and where Jamaica pay. Him tell you about the oil, one lick, how much money and him I tell you all news and balance and him not cut nothing. Him not hide it. Him not come and say, yes, we are good at it. Him tell you where him do. But the backside levy and balance the place. Listen.
$160 million a year now, more to buy the same oil. And without the oil, you don't turn on a light, you don't run a truck, You don't start a tractor. You don't move one thing in Jamaica. Them lick us $160 million one time.
So the aisle soup. And cushion it. So I'm not going on can and just tell you as is. See, now here when news get out of this.
All we could do is take it. They talk about efficiency. They talk about who can manage the economy. If they had been in power when those things hit us, nothing could have saved us. The only thing that saved Jamaica at that time was one thing that this government did, and that we alone could do, because we alone were willing to fight imperialism. We alone were willing to fight the multinational corporations. We alone were willing to mobilize the bauxite producers of the world. We alone were willing to fight as leaders of the third world. And
no, I'm like Joshua Manley now, yes. Me listen to him. You know expect them to punk and now come to about it. Remember me a man there. Lead what? They can't lead a paper for it, man. See? You have to have them kind of thing in a you, man. A real leader to stand up for the people them of the country. And stand up for the country, not sell it out. Then we can listen to you. So me give my time a day, you must know so we have respect for you because we see what you are doing. And Joe, no, sir. I like this thing that. Dangerous. Yeah, man. Dangerous, man. Yeah. I'm very transparent to you know. Yeah, Taylor, I'm very transparent. Can't tell you, I'm telling you at least.
the thing that saved Jamaica was the bauxite levy. The bauxite levy, which was the use of the sovereign power of a third world nation to put multinational corporations under heavy manners.
And that because Uncle Sam Dick back that time, and because I know what them do, you know. Everything in tech and everything. Yeah, man.
And that saved us for a couple of years. But then the next blow that came was the blow of the world recession. Because of the crisis in international capitalism, the bauxite market was way down. The sugar price was way down. We took a blow this year alone of the loss of $60 million of revenue.
So you tell you all how much in a revenue in last and you know hear them thing. The man them I use figure tell about this and that and the lowest in and 15% and 30% and 100% and garbage. The man that tell you how much in a figures and everything, you know. And he tell you everything, he tell you. No idea.
Not for our fault, but because of yet another crisis in international capitalism. And we were the victims. The sugar price collapsed as usual.
You see them know what them do? Sugar using everything overseas. Enough people live over there. But then they make sure them can collapse the sugar price by you and then raise the high. Collapse some third world country. Sugar we're using everything with them. Yeah, in them drinks, in them, yeah, you know, in them baking, them pastries, in everything. You understand? But you can collapse the price. And then the aisle gone up.
Left us losing $25 million of revenue.
Yeah.
You talk about management. If we had not the bauxite levies to protect us, even when the production was down, Jamaica would have been bankrupt 2 years ago.
Yeah. All the bauxite thing there, gone. Then they're going with me.
And when those things hit us, comrades, you tell me what you would have us do. I remember when I went around Jamaica to you in your tens of thousands, in every parish of Jamaica, and I explained the economic crisis to you. I told you the blow that this little country that had suffered so much before was being asked to endure again. And I remember we put the choice to you, and we talked about it together. And I said the choice was simple. We can either look at thousands of children and put them back out. We can take all the schools that are building and stop building them.
So yeah, just all right. So when you listen to this, it gives the whole background and everything we're going in. Enough panelists, so you know them just listen. They listen see. But he might tell you right the time when I speak here, so how much school I build same all those schools, not one school. He could have stopped building. He might tell you why he could have stopped. And the program could have stopped. That means that all of them programs they are run. Remember the first term this year? In the first term. So once the people really are working to the chat. You understand? PWD are work. The place we never see no patrol and they go 10 times. 60. No patrol never very well. No. Place clean. Rubbish truck come. People read light. School food there, man. You get car and get them thing there, man. 70s, 60s. But then I can't tell me not about this. We live through it. Them time I went apart, I meet him too, you know. I meet him too, man. Yes, man. Clear.
We can take every feet of road that is being cut for a farmer.
Every feet of road were cut by a farmer. So you see what thing him at one time? I tell you, him work. I tell you. So him talk and him tell you the same way. You tell?
And tell the farmer, cops. We said we can take the nutrition programs that are bringing food to thousands of mothers for the first time at last.
For thousands of mothers, food. Getting pregnant and everything up to them in feed. Just listen where him could have cut and him not cut them. And him come talk to the people, him come reason with them, one-on-one. So we shake him and reason with them. Yeah. You understand? All right, because hear this.
And then we can stop it. We can cancel it. Because world conditions had us in hard times. But I was proud of you, my comrades. In every meeting that I went to, in Port Antonio, Port Maria, Mandeville, Montego Bay, Sablama, Mapen, Santa Cruz, Black River, Spanish Town, all over Jamaica. You came back to your movement with one voice and you said no turning back. No turning.
Real government now, real prime minister and everything come to the people and put it to them and then explain to them and then talk to him. Not Andrew, you sit down and do what you want to do and them rich. Man, they driving a simple car. And then wife driving a simple car and I play what him say. And I told this a spin, but look how them live. Talking and action are two different things, you know. Talking and action. Yes. Can't trick me. Can't trick me. Real man there. Can't trick me. Yeah.
Back. And you charge us to go another way, which was to say keep the children in their schools, keep the baby milk moving to the mothers, keep the houses building, and ask.
Yeah, all houses are built, everything at the one time. The government that deal with this. Set up everything. Yeah? No, you read this is a real government. And you're the crapper.
Those that can pay more taxes to pay more.
Yes.
You said let the nation sacrifice so that the majority may be saved. And I say God bless you. Trust the masses every time. Trust the masses every time. And so we put on the taxes, not rudely, not in bad temper. We put them on with apology, with courtesy, with
yeah, the man talk to people. No, come on, yeah, look where we going right on. You never hear the man open the mouth and talk about the kids then. But rather, man, you look at boys. Him tell you at school and treat them. You have to treat them right. Make sure them are right. Him tell you about them. That bother me too, you know. We're not there to tell you that. So one day we are going home. No, set the thing right. See? Set it right, man. I'm a good man. Continue.
Explanation. And every Jamaican that cares for this land more than for himself said, you are right, and said, right on. But the clique, oh no, there was a weeping and a wailing and a gnashing of teeth. Some of them are holler, some are bawl. And the clique suddenly became like a collection of chichibud. Because we went to them. We went to the private sector and we said, in the face of this fantastic pressure, help us now out of love of country. And we said, produce now as you have never.
When Sam got to, I'm a play it back a year. When got to, me tell them now good. When Sam got to people, make them say them name up there. Yeah.
More than for himself, said you are right, and said right on. But the clique, oh no, there was a weeping and a wailing and a gnashing of teeth. Some of them are holler, some are bawl. And the clique suddenly became like a collection of chichibud. Because we went to them. We went to the private sector.
You know what the clique? I don't see them place out here. What the private sector, them. You call them the clique. Them are the clique. Just the same went to them.
And the clique suddenly became like a collection of chichibud. Because we went to them. We went to the private sector and we said, in the face of this fantastic pressure, help us now out of love of country. And we said, produce now as you have never produced before. We said, produce now as you have never produced before. Because our nation is in a crisis that is not of Jamaica's making. And I say it for some, they have produced as never before. And I say hail to those producers that have produced as never before. But there was another part, the clique, that even though we gave practical, realistic incentives, a whole package of incentives.
You give them at the same thing when we tell people about waivers and incentive, them thing them get it. Them get tax break. Them get tax break. But this are all them evil. Right now them get tax break, no. Rule up and down, pay a tax break. It's not easy about nobody.
To show that it was more than rhetoric, that it was a real and concrete appeal to produce. They said no. They said the only way we will produce is if you stop talking of socialism. They said the only way we will produce is if you stop having a foreign policy. They said the only way we will produce is if you break your friendship with Cuba. They said the only way we will produce is if you stop meddling in Southern Africa.
Southern Africa, when fight him, stay there and fight for free with people then. And run out them because racist people then do all kind of things. Do it. Do it, man. You hear? They pay him to stop meddling down in Africa.
They said the only way we will produce is if you turn it all back. And when you deliver the people to us, again as we had them before.
They did one about the people like Andrew deliver them to them right now. Well, Jamaica, the masses, them deliver back to the PSOJ, the clique. That have to change back again. Yes. Then deliver them to them. And what them want is PR and trick the people. Them are going to have to lose. When they can't live them kind of way, then they say, you two are right and next year. When them do 8, I go 9. And them say, you two are right same way. With all these promises and foolishness, and when you look things that go up and your light bill gone up and water bill gone up and you don't have no way to live and you can't buy food. And you don't have no job. Them say job thing they gone down, but get to don't have no job. Because them tell you a lie. The man tell you everything, I tell you what. You have to set up standard of things. Where you live by. You have to try to beat them standard there. I mean, I'm talking about east way for go boss. But anything lower than them thing, yeah, we now said for the people, them come out of the way, move. Even try it. Even try it. I'm not trying not like them here. Yeah, but you can't bring up. Clear.
Then we will produce. They go around Jamaica and they say to the people, if you abandon socialism, if you forget equality, if you forget justice, if you forget the struggle of the poor of the world, if you turn your eyes inward while our black brothers are killed and murdered in Soweto.
Here we're concerned about, and that we concerned about too. Here I tell you that, that's why I'm stand up for them. Not Anjo. Anjo, if no matter make some vote in the UN and make all kind of things up now and baby get crushed out and all kind of things. It's not good. It's not good.
And they say to the people, if you abandon socialism, if you forget equality, if you forget justice, if you forget the struggle of the poor of the world, if you turn your eyes inward while our black brothers are killed and murdered in Soweto, if you make us feel that we, the clique, are in charge again, we will produce, we will open the money bags, and I say to them, the masses of Jamaica are not for sale.
So man have to take the clips so they're not for sale. They know why you fight for Africa, they know why you do nothing. They're not good. And this situation, the man never mean the country good, never mean the country no harm. Him up there and have everything. Him a fight a pilot too, you know. Him a scholar too, man. The man is a scholar. See everything. But him come down and them say, oh, I'm dead poor. Yeah, him rather do this in country. We love our country. So when them come out and talk about master, this a white man, and I talk about Mark G, a junior, Joshua Junior, Mark J. You see my J name? Joshua. Mark Joshua Junior Golding. Mark J Golding. See my the J there already, you know? Joshua Junior. Now Mark J Golding, you say. Mark Joshua Junior, man. Mark Joshua Junior Golding. Joshua Junior. See Joshua, yeah, you know. So tomorrow at the stadium, this was stadium, September the 19th, 1976. So September the 15th, 2024, you have now Joshua Junior Golding at peak. Yes. Continue play.
The masses of Jamaica are not for sale.
Not for sale. And then them about them banana thing. Yes, Charmin, big up yourself, JNL. You have to big up yourself, sis. You good? All right, up. Yeah, man. But these them can't get up and tell the lie. Good thing. All right. Let me tell you something again. Same thing when I talk about me. Them thing I will learn from it. So it's good when you document things. You document your life. And but true that thing where music that document things. Same like this. Them thing of politics and thing it documented. So when it release everything, so not then you can come and tell lies. The blah 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 when you hear this now, you ask the one. So the one of this was lie, they might tell Pan Joshua too. Yes, because they lost their propaganda. And then say no millions and well me as a man no make no sense. For 86 till now, everything when we do is documented, man. Be things. So for every year you have things documented and things. You can't take me and place me away. Impossible. No make no sense. But them don't know this because them have small mind, them fool, them stupid. You understand? Yes. You see? I said, go see my record them documented. And then you have Andrew when he said come out and say, we did not on that, but say just trying himself I tell you. Him tell you who is the clique. Him tell you who him a fight for, and you can go look and see it. Him tell himself about the backside levy. Him tell you about the prices. Him tell you how much money they have to spend more when the oil drop in a 73. Him tell you about the sugar. When it drop, him tell you how much more money, how much money them lose. Him not hide nothing. I tell you what, it documented because it did tape and them videos and them have it. You can't go around it. Not two journalists. Them can't go around it, So like somebody come and say, blah. And I said, then go on. Don't we say, I can forget the laugh. You know what the laugh is? You make them go on and they go grab them. You go grab them. Them full of shit. So we learn that. That's what I tell them all the while. Some of the parties ahead of them. Meaning they're chopping. Not chopping. Yes. Yeah, man, it's documented. Yeah. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So anybody can go some out and them say something and then say, I'm fine. That's why in America, like I remember the girl when them shoot the other day. Master face, she called the police and my racist. You go in her house, she should in her house and ask her and the other man about ID. When she come out, you come knock her up, she don't answer. And she got to grab the water off and the thing you shoot her in her face, kill her. And so she come out with water with them like say, I'm gonna prison, I'm done. I'm get a chance to gone. No good. Right away you lose the work and everything. That's how I believe in them thing, the record and document it. You understand? For them I never documented. Them that go on and spread pure lies. Them that spread pure lies and people run with that, but people not think. See? That's why when I run the thing and when you look, you have some little nonsense come and sit down. When them come like them forgot to them document it. And come like get them got to them a tape and people watch them live. You can't get up and talk where you feel like it's a bag of food shit and then start praying like and say, hey, now run on and I use this. You can't lie to that. Truth comes straight, man. And then more people wrong. We have to do go and just tell lies up. And even somebody can put up in a lie, but we're laughing. And people recall and can just drop back and watch and say, yes, man, we know when you step in and thing and you go there to everybody and we know when you go by them thing, everybody, when you go, oh, you got to talk about brief. Nobody can be brief. You have a married man, you know, I got my wife. Nobody, let me tell you this, be brief and be packaging. I wife and husband deal with that, man. No man can be brief, man. No. You understand? No, man. Play this. We are not for
And I say Jamaica is at the
sale.
Because, comrades, we have lived with a clique before. We lived in the world of the crumbs from the rich man's table. And I say Jamaica is at the point of decision now. We watch how certain sources abroad try to smash up our tourist trade by writing vicious articles about us. And we wonder whose hand is manipulating the strings. Here is nobody's hand. They tell me nobody does it. They tell me the whole thing happened by accident. I don't believe it. Because when I look inside Jamaica, there are people with a motive to turn us back. And some of the articles about Jamaica are procured from inside Jamaica. And when I look outside, there are those with a motive to put us in our place and teach us our manners.
Man, attack in a metaphor, you know. Parables, yes, man. Yeah, teach us our manners, yeah. Yeah, man.
And tell us, who are we to believe that we can tell a bauxite company what taxation to pay? Who are we?
Yeah, him tell him don't say them vex about it and what of your name worship. Yeah.
Who are we to stand behind Cuba when she goes to the liberation of Angola by the defeat of the fascists and apartheid troops of South Africa?
Yeah, South Africa, the fascists them, we stand with Cuba to go and then defeat them down in Africa for sure. Yes.
And they say, who are we? Poor little Jamaica, who are we to mix up in all that? Well, I will tell you who we are. We are Jamaicans, and with little, we follow. And having told you who we are, I will tell you why. Because we know that for 300 years we have lived under that system, and all we got was slavery.
You tell 300 years, and all we got was slavery. They might not care about the people them suffer as Jamaican, you know, and go through the what of this. And the clique not care about that. And you're born in a poverty. But them pick up for the clique. And trick the people by telling them lie and align themselves. And I them align themselves and I run down about Dr. Philies, the man I run down. Yeah? Dr. Philies. Goddamn shame. Yeah? You know, see him going away, you know. You know, the way I do nothing, you know. You know the way I do nothing. See? When you come and talk about degree and attack one bag of bulls. Continue.
And when we didn't get slavery, we got bad sugar prices. And when we weren't getting bad sugar prices, we were getting hovels to raise our children. We know what that system has meant for us. We know what the masses got when the bauxite buildings were being built in Jamaica. They got nothing. And we are not for sale. We are not for sale. And tell them, anytime they are willing to deal with an honorable Jamaica based on principles, sovereignty, pride, and dignity.
Yes, on principles, sovereignty, pride, and dignity. Based on principle, sovereignty, pride, and dignity. He me talk to you. Because I don't believe in a bully and everything like that. I tell you a long time. Remember, I come from East Kingston. I mean, upon my show talk and tell you, I listen to your leader. Punks, freaks, and nothing. Then, I want other things, man. There's no need. Why am I afraid of my daddy? My daddy come beat me or something. Man can't face me and tell me nothing, you know. No, man. I move from 0 to 100. No, man. Me your brethren. Keep yourself to yourself. We are dealing with truth and right one here. Read bad slave descendants. I don't care. See, some of them I'm not advanced like me. I look good. Remember, music me do long time, decades. Me have tune when nearly reach 40. For 86, per record itself. At 38 plus years that. Not the far from 40. Yeah? So me not look fame and nothing. Don't be my name and they all over the place I believe. I'm not there for that nothing. There for all them account. You see? I want to meet friends to do that. You understand? Yeah, man, keep it real one, man. Play.
Then we will talk the investment of the money. But if we are to return to our knees, they can keep the money, we will find another way. And my friends, you're in for a tough time. But this year, for the first time, the Jamaican people have learned the difference between suffering and struggle. Every worker knows, the workers that used to walk the picket line with me, that took the tear gas together, that were arrested together, that lay down and blocked the streets of Kingston together. When the conditions are bad, you suffer. And if sometimes you have to go and strike, you suffer even more. But you suffer for a cause. And when you suffer for a cause, that is not suffering, it is struggle. I want you to say that word with me. Struggle. 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 Every worker that has ever had to go hungry on a picket line knows what it is to struggle. And when he has won his strike, then the suffering is over and he enters a new pasture of joy and principle. And they are making us suffer now. But what they did not realize is that the masses would show the capacity to struggle. I tell you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. God bless you. God bless you. No power can turn you back once you learn to struggle. When the time comes, we know where we are going. And we will remember then the basic schools that we built because we know where we are going.
Listen, you see them speech and does not tell you, because some people just listen and then them not learn from speech like this. You have to hear some of the things them when remember the first term this. It's before the election. First term. So you have to hear some of the things them say the basic school them and everything. Remember him have to come with German and everything, Just listen to some of the things them where you hear what him do. They put in the work. Right now it's beneficial to do what I was saying here. But I do just find out something and show me what him do. Can't find out one, I'm bar for this. Then him go after. Man, that's why I say me tell him, I have no tea with him, man. Him too out to man. You don't go after great leaders and them thing that we know, business about JLP, them and PMP, them do something and then do the right thing, go after them and then try to throw them after the bus. Say that me a work for outside power you want to man. This try the man legacy. Now work. And then when you look at the worst thing, you're overreaching space and time, you don't know how you get rich. Like that. You understand? Remember, there's something that we see are doing. And they did a rest of politicians and they get rich. So, yeah? Continue.
We will remember the daycare centers that we are building because we know where we are going. The National Youth Service that we have started because we know where we are going. The Pioneer Corps that is launching because we know where we are going. Jamal and literacy and into the light for the masses because we know where we are going. And we are going that place. They believe. They believe. They believe. Bless their craven little hearts. They believe that we are going without the middle class, but they are wrong. Look about you. 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 my comrades, there is now equal pay for equal work because we know where we are going. We have a minimum wage law now because we know where we are going.
I remember the minimum wage law, why I'm coming with that, and because you have some of them staying back home and say used to work, and you get nothing. I must say, no, you can't pay them less than this at the time. So you should have step up now. I always say them no want to step it up, but then make sure you can't pay them under this. Impossible. Them time they will have the law 1 for 1, like 1 US or 1 this, you know. Same. And it all around there, so you know, $1 something to a US, and you know, same. Yes, because one at a time our money when it come in is bigger than US too. Yeah, man. Continue.
We have compulsory recognition of trade unions now because no way.
Recognition of trade union. Me tell the same coming back at things.
Where we are going. We have real protection for workers now because
real protection for workers too. Okay.
We have a family court for mothers now because
family court for no mothers, you know. It's same put you in here because in order to well, take care of them. No, you have to pay your price. You know, you get a man pregnant and gone about. Try and come a court. Go force them to go work and them come on in youth. Great. You understand? See, there is much thing. First one.
There is status for children now because we're having worker participation in the industry now because and community councils now because
all them they must get rid of them community councils. You know about me.
And rent tribunals now because
all rent tribunals. Your landlord couldn't take. I used to take liberty. You that have to stop. Yeah.
And community health aids now because
community help aid stop long time. You see when you talk about this thing, you never remember them. You hear?
And national housing trust now because
national housing trust is a 800 tribe block. Eh? First term. And you can't tell me nothing.
And sites and services housing now because
services housing that are the housing to, you know, where them start thing on site and you go, yes. I don't think you come up with enough.
And roll back of rent now because to the workers housing now because
workers housing. So different from housing trust. You have different housing thing where you make sure look about the people them, you know. You depend this and you build your own thing in your one wall, like up in another bit. Then get a wall in the middle. Yeah. And a bathroom they're not done yet. So you add on your thing now and put in your thing and do one wall. Another bit. I saw it building. Yes, man. See that?
The school feeding program now because
school feeding program. You see, make sure the youth them are right, make sure the mother them are right. Make sure them have to go to school because them have to learn and them can't go to the hungry belly. Make sure you feed the mother them. Make sure you have and the mother them can draw them laymas baby father, yeah. A court, family court. Yes. Give them the rights. You see it? Normalize up the place. So if they depend on aim that and say I take it and shut up. Yeah.
Nutrition for pregnant women now because
tell you nutrition and look out for them too, you know, on the mothers. They get look after the kids them too. Me never hear them say, rather I'm gonna look for boy 15 years.
Old age pensions by the 30,000 now because
when say much thousand, so much old age pension gone to now. Go on. Old age pension about 20,000 you say? That's enough money that back in the days, man.
Now because and roll back of rent now because to the workers housing now because the school feeding program now because nutrition for pregnant women now because old age pensions by the 30,000 now because rural electrification now because
about the rural electrification, when you're bush shot around out it, I am doing it. I am doing it. See that?
Be the road for farmers now because
that's the same road where they talk about when the farmers road them. I am doing it too. That different from road where yeah. When them call it perical road or what they want. When them call it, I am doing it. And farmers road there. Into them. Yeah man. See that?
better farm prices now because micro dams built by our Cuban friends now because project land lease now because sugar workers cooperatives now because bauxite lands return to Jamaica now because the bauxite levy now because the International Bauxite Association now because
I'm already to the international bauxite it coming like OPEC and it mash up the mail. It did it. So all these things documented and it's there, but yesterday to come on like this thing under the bus. You mash up what kind of country? Anybody tell you that mean them are part of the capitalistic thing or mash up place, them to charge the trees. Anybody in Jamaica come and say this? Them are shit. Them are shit. After them mash up, them moves over like this. So you're putting a go school in the business every day. You're carking down up this kind of too much trouble kind of things. Then the business born up again. Eh? And I tell you, say no, it better because man didn't mash up something. Boy, you will see the truth front of you. Oh, you follow these people. Would what some mouth and some spinning and some bullshit. In them country, we might carry the youth them at school, but they still have school bus. If you want to choose school bus, they choose the school bus. You know the problem. If the bus stop on there and go there, they stop go there and you pass it, you pay $2,000. You know the money for bother you. Your road water. Remember, you know when they clean the road, you know them water and everything, you know, spray off and clean, you know, properly, you know. Have to clean every day, you know. And clean. Your rubbish have to pick up and everything, you know, not chatting. Nobody not come knock you. But the same thing you want, Batman. The same thing you want, not true.
Majority ownership in bauxite companies now because the joint ventures with Mexico now because the national shipping line now for the first time at last because
national shipping line. I know what you doing now. You see that? See that now?
A third world foreign policy now, that trade union of the poor because we know where we are going. We are creating a new man. We have begun the building of socialist man. We are working towards the day when there will be no more masters and no more servants, but only one together in the Lord. And we are learning now to go not upon our knees, but as true, sovereign, human, dignified human beings, because we know where we are going. Be disciplined, be worthy, in the name of every child in every hovel, anywhere in Jamaica or in the world, in the name of every black man working out his days in the indignity of his servitude in southern Africa, in the name of every mother whose heart is an agony as she gazes upon her baby and asks, what is there for you, my little one? In the name of every Jamaican who cares for justice, in the name of every youth who has died, in the name of Sam Shah, in the name of Paul Bogle, in the name of George William Gordon, in the name of Marcus Garvey, in the name of Norman Manley, in the name of every victim that ever lived, in the name of every martyr that ever died, we will not fail, we shall overcome.
Oh gosh, man. Where's the great people, man? I respect great people and don't go around that and don't play politics with them, man. Better do that, man, then go, man. You understand? You have great leaders. I want to in America, you know, when they are great leaders, whether they are Democrat or Republican, great leaders are great leaders, right? Yes. People just talk about them and yeah, they remember that with the foolishness. Now Jamaica now they want to trick people. When you see a man come and stand up for the people, the masses of people. And yesterday our people come and say, dead poor, we don't like people dead poor. When you're dead, you don't have nothing, people. A matter of fact, we don't have nothing in our earth, so you might have something at the same time. We don't have nothing. We don't have nothing, man. Just your time, man. If somebody say you're dead poor, not at food business, and then you have some people who be a garbage. Be a garbage. Mr. Pernell him come out and talk about, well, the two sides of the PMP come fire shot and then, people have to defend themselves. So, I blame one side because, no. You start the fire and start the killing and them thing there. People will find ways to defend themselves. If a man come out fire, you not defend yourself, of course. You have to stand your ground, See? You can't wicked someone. You can't work with forces to destroy the masses. And then you brainwash the masses and buy vote and do all that. I think we know that. You can't flip-flop nobody, we not do the sell-out business. They don't talk about foolishness and things. If you go around and you spread your lies, everybody have run with it when it's all documented and recorded. It's full, so. I forget smart, So you make run up and down with a piece of shit now. You draw them, and they show you the difference. But when you have Mandy again, right? So, voila.
Keep our cities clean. No.
All right, so you see the people that have a conference tomorrow.
Let me tell you how wind up now.
Make sure we don't dirty up the street. Just this is what Mandy has to write us, Sir Mandy, and make sure, keep the place clean. Yes. Everything them. And then one of them on the bus and thing, nobody hang off. Don't do like what them do on there. Don't do it. Not do it. You understand? No discipline, no manners, just just want to reach and want to do the thing and then leave back just a beer rules and laws. Yes. That's how it go. Of course. Yeah, man. Keep the place clean. You were great just part. So yeah.
Socialism has got to be built. We have to build it like a house. It can't be handed down. So who come into socialism for a handout? No, not so. It have to be built. And it need, everybody want to work. Everybody must have love. Everybody must have discipline. We must keep our cities clean. No socialist would ever drop a piece of dirt or litter in the streets because the socialist would remember the one coming behind. Only people with a capitalistic mentality would ever dirty the streets. Who have love, who have justice, who have concern, keep your city clean. Make I tell you what the party must do. Our party is open to all. Our party must be first in discipline.
So, Kimmy, what's your name? What's about one labor right? What's about leader right? And $1,000. You when say open to all, not open to PNP. Open to this, open to that. You say open to all. Discipline. That's what I see. You see the difference? When you hear the difference? Just hear that.
Our party must be first in work. Our party must be first in sacrifice. Our party must be first in study. You must study. If you're a socialist, you must study. You must study. That's why we start all the great programs, literacy, so that we can bring knowledge. True knowledge is power. You must read. Now I have a book called Manley and the New Jamaica. One should find a way to read it. My own little book I write for you is you I write it for. Politics of change is you I write it for. To give you wisdom and understanding. Read it. Make group bite and somebody read it and don't discuss it because you must be first in study.
This is what we used to do from a long time. You see me, the different thing. Come let me tell you this. But before my vice in 84, when I finish up Monday, you have an artist before that, because we used to DJ on sound system and everything in our place and for young girl child, another song, Saying, go to Metrographic and we're DJ in the 80s and everything. Get enough song, all over the place, come all over the place. But you have an art, I'm not calling him now. And in this, RJ studio. Yes? That's when you go past stadium there, so RJ, right? You know what RJ is still, right? In this way. You make you come in the yard because them time they already DJ pan sound and you go up there, you're outside, right? You're outside. Hear this. You're outside. And you have to walk with like the gate man and them thing, they walk with a banana and bull and you have to say Mr. Gate man, but teach you discipline still, you know. You know them time and you go up there and you block it and share. Them way they can go into the yard, not the studio. One next part, then you have to preach in the studio and arting. See? You will run by it, can't buy it. Not them now buy it, so nothing them when you go in a studio no one advice and say them to wear two tools, them want to buy it because you have great control and you're not advice. Me not advice. Never them way them what them are going, never buys. Now I got you. Man, I spend the money you got you. Okay. He might do audition and they tell you already. Okay, you come and try, but make a perfect step so you're good to get price. And one man, popular artist at the time, when they come in, him, I'm always hype. Where I must have help you that are like 2 years before. We help you to understand me and some other great, you know. Nice combination, nice too. You know, when the man they come advise, they make him make nothing. Come advise him right now and everything. Let me tell you this, around 2014, like 30 years after. He called me and called me for an artist. I'm an artist, I'm a brother to you know. Yes, me a boy, me everybody. And when he called me, I'm Mama Angie, you know. Let me buy Steve in a car. When he called me, I said, boy, you know, say you're the man, I'm going to move good on. Bridget, man, do tune and me do back something for you, man. He said, yeah, man, you can't do that. Me have this. And thing I'm a call. The man there, I said to him, say, hey, he must say more advice, you know, man. I say, remember saying the dish from back now, yet, you see. Nah, do it, you know. I'm a man, you know, so my man, you know, get far from me attack. Yeah, I said, nah, man. So I said, do it for him, man. Me, I said, you see, sometimes, you know, the people are right, they must do them things like that and do this, you know. I remember we have very fan memory, you know. And 30 years, that's what I feel. But me are the man. Me I draw the thing, them up the label. Me have the thing, them and thing. And at first, me ignore him like that, I know. And at first, back in the 90s, remember my family from 92, you know. Because you are my family, baby, no. Me no want, because me work on enough people things. But me never want, you know, through them like push around. Me not take a push on thing there, you know. Me not a man, me do push on. And me not like company and certain company. Me not join it. So I like run my own thing. Me not too much of a chatting thing there. You have to sponge up and thing. Me not do it. Me not do it. So I farm my own things, keep my own show, do my own things. Seem like I'm a watch. Because I always watch anything from solid good and the 70s come right up. I watch one of these things. And you see them people are doing things and I study about them to them one thing and write them say, more right. So when you get a chance and be less, be less. See? Be other people push them, but me not bow to them. Nah, do it. See, not my thing. So when you not afford to do your thing, me not jealous of you nothing because me not join. Me do my things and from my own, me do it more great. I have a family, me just work with my family and push and push. I will draw and push you, but me not join. You can't draw me though. Impossible. See? So me not go run if we go do what and what. Him, me see me already, me the dynamic sound, 90s. Yeah. The dynamic sound and come and say, some of them are cut. It's what me advice, you know. In the 90s, when you release things, like big 90s, or the 90s, when you release song like me advice, Yami Bolo, Sugar Miner, Gregory Isaac, you know, Frankie Park, me advice to all of them. So you put out 2, you put out, you put 10 stamper one time, you know what stamper. So you have to go on the mix, vice mix, master down there, and cut the stamper, acetate. Then put in the acetate and then them put it, you know, master it and then, you know, them put it in a bath and then can me watch the whole process. You go through the whole process. See? And then them they know you have to go press up your label. Go press up your label. You know, you have to press up your label them and everything and then you have to go. If a dynamics are distributed through them are tough kind of way, you have to go them go give them the label now. You have to stamp and everything and then you cut your thing and go deal with them. So you do it. And the same man him come to me, same artist so loads of them don't do go cut the thing them. I'm going like me a year, me now. And one time again, I see me there in an anchor studio, and I see in the 90s, I see Baby Wayne come in with Baby Wayne, and he want to do some dub. But me have the studio time I run a vice up. You understand? So in come in, I'm ignorant. I even call me ignorant because I know to really do this. After you see the draw card for me stand up now. You know you can't. Nobody can draw no more. Come in, nobody draw card for me. Say yes. And I who did that work? Me tell you who the Dr. Marshall, the redhead one, slim one. See? And he said to Marshall, said, well, me do go and buy spiritual. Marshall I said, go on sometime. And you know, I know, I'm going like me not here. My wife make me stop, man. And my wife make me just. And then go on me see him, you know, and I'm good. Because, you know, I sure say, you know, sometimes I see some people are trying to push you if you give them a blight, you know. You can't for all them your ups because you might have vice before, man. So you teach me for humble, you know. You teach you treat people enough we are better, you know. Say, yeah, man. Treat people good, man, and all right. But when they're not good now, you treat them bad. Because them not good. Then enough more youth after me vice of youth. Can me vice such anyone? Vice such anyone. If you not go through these things, them know them not have the experience of me. But I do flat foot things from the 80s. So in the 80s, Prince Buster, come know everybody, you know, Prince Buster, David Cabby at this. Because them have record shop, we have to go and sell them record. Drop them off and pick up by them. We do the whole of that. Radio station, TV station, we cover the whole of that. Country, we cover the whole of that. So you build yourself from down after. So nobody not give me no time. They not do work with me. And then as a student engineer now. Can I remember I do student engineering too? And then I have to talk, you know, see me, don't it? So I need to talk about myself, you know. Remember I do video editing and video shooting too. Remember I do the whole works of the thing. Remember we keep shows. We keep shows all over the place. So I need to introduce myself and talk myself. Me do this. It's recorded, documented, it's there. Most of the time, you see me, I do some vibes and feel like my vibes. Before I go on camera and remember we work out the thing, I need it, you know. Yeah, so when you see him, actually, a bad DJ, you know, him, where you see the Winston Alley. Bad DJ. Bad DJ, him. Yes. Yeah, man. See him? Yeah, man, where's the palm? They run from the 80s. Yeah, man. See? So, you know, we said good thing and say, like, Monday thing, you know. Self-reliance. That's what I believe in. So, I give him thanks to. I give me all man thanks to. Yes. You know, self-reliance are the best thing. You know, like when someone then get some tune, and when they get some tune, then hear the name called parade, then start bouncing on people. Now, you're too big for talk to everybody. We not do that, man. We not do it. Yeah, we not do that. We not do it. We're too play more man. We not do it. We keep it read one here. Yeah? Yeah. No, I forgot run it, you know. I forgot run it. Yeah, till there. We may tell them, man, I run it, man. So what we do is you make your thing that you can all right. And that we do and it keep you up there. So, you know? So a man they come with that, when I talk about my watch this, man, our old man teach you certain things, man. You know, you take page out of a book. So no boy in a pressure. Yes, man. Do the thing, man. See? Continue, man. And you hear what I'm saying? You know, think for yourself. But we draw a lot of people too, you know. We draw a lot of people too, of course. Of course. I mean, I have to talk, you know, because I remember saying anything where you hear me talk, you know, so I can draw back for something and show you. Document it. Yeah, man. All right, wrong.
Knowledge is power. My last word is for the role of leadership. First of all, the leadership of socialism must walk in humility. Humility must be humble, must be humble, must always be humble. There is no place for arrogance in the party that I lead. And anybody that is arrogant over the people must get out of leadership. The only one that is fit to lead is the one that walks hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, equal with the people, loving with the people. That's why I don't want no big flashy motor car. I don't want nobody in my party go with flashy clothes. I dress simple. And I drive in a simple little car. And Bev driving a simple little car. Because we must walk with the people. The day we think we're bigger than the people, we have no business to lead. Socialism walks in humility with the people. If you're a socialist, you must have love and concern. And if you are a leader, you must stay close to the people. I said to the leaders of socialism, stay close to the people. When the people are worried and unhappy, don't run away from them. Stay close like a shepherd. Give them love. give them care. That is socialism. The leader in socialism must know so that he can explain. He must understand so that he can lead. He must inspire by example. And above all, he must have integrity. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Only honesty can lead the people in socialism. Therefore, my comrades, let us build together. And I call upon you now, in the name of the Father, in the name of God, in the name of Allah, in the name of Jehovah, in the name of Jah, to sing.
Yeah, in the name of Jah. Yeah, Jah, because them free Rasta. Remember them that get beat up and all kind of things, you know, and treat my mash up, you know. Free Rasta, man. Same free Rasta. Yeah, man. Same. Me could listen in first. Remember see what I'm doing at the first year. First year. I listen in budget. One more thing I play. Remember them have big conference tomorrow, you know. So if I play Joshua, because Joshua Jr. I step out right. Yeah? So I play Joshua. Remember play in first year, 1973. Remember, you know, 72 in win. Yeah? This is the budget debate in a 73. Just 1 year, you know? 1 year. Remember here, how much thing you bring in play in a 1 year? Yeah.
Time national service in Jamaica. We feel the great need is in education. They were going to call for the young people to give us a period of time when they get back into the primary system to teach before they move on out into their careers. Once a child reaches 16 or 17, if they, say, fail their O-level exam, we will then ask them to give 2 years, to volunteer for 2 years, to come in and teach in the primary schools while we look after them, which will also give them a chance to try again for their exam, in which case they might then be able to take advantage of it to move on further again. If the child passes the O-level and wants to move on to A-level or some kind of technical training, child will go, but we will ask it to carry the obligation of service. And if it goes right to the end of the university system, so be it. But even at that time, we're going to say, come and teach certain subjects in the technical schools, come and teach subjects even for 2 years in the primary schools. Create a revolution in the knowledge of the people by putting our skills that we've got through our secondary system cycled back into the training of more skills so as to bring the light of knowledge and freedom to the people that are being born and growing.
You notice, and there's matter about you notice with people, real people, them not flip-flop, and you flip-flop. You notice him tell about the kids, the child. If they reach this, even for go university and put knowledge, and you say, uno, and it's a 15, 17, child. And you say, uno look a boy running around and going 15 years. 12-year-old, them want to pass something off for lack of life. 12-year-old. 12, baby. Eh? You hear this? All right. I remember, in them time, a man there do the whole of this thing. Now, I be a separation and so. You know, expect some of them to go off and get leaders straight and them have nothing to eat or nothing. Animal hungry them hunt. You know, look out for them. The school now look out for them. No, look out for them. It's a thing. But here much thing bring in 1 year. Just hear much thing. Watch it.
In the system. I think it's the most exciting challenge and opportunity for Jamaica since independence. It's something to stir the fire of nationalism and patriotism in your heart, Mr. Speaker. The National Service, they'll be asked to give 2 years, mainly in teaching, but also, if people prefer, perhaps with a literacy program, they can help
with the youth development program, with the youth camps that are coming on stream later this year, the new type of youth development. There are all sorts of ways in which they can help put back into their country, so that instead of drowning through the lack of resources to create training, we use our own resources that say, let me give back something to the country that gave me both birth and the life opportunity of higher education. Because of all this planning, sir, I'm very pleased to be able to announce something more about education. At the present time, about 2,500 children in each age group move through into the secondary system, and then some into the comprehensive, the technicals, etc. Because of plans already laid, already 9,000 of those children will be able, by next year, September, to move into expanded technical schools and expanded secondary schools. That still leaves another 10,000 of junior secondaries with nowhere to go right now. Because of the call for the volunteers and the getting of the secondary schools to give back the training in the system, we are going to be able to revolutionize the quality of the primary education, because that's a well-educated youngster that is going in. We're going to be able to release the best teachers to move up the system and strengthen the system inside the junior secondary. And by the introduction of the SHIP system next year, among the 19,000 junior secondaries, 9 of whom will go on into secondary, but 10 of whom will remain, we will be able to give 2 years further training and lift the age of the junior secondary schools from 15 to the age of 17.
So I lift it from 15 to the age of 17. Yeah, right there. You want me to fit?
What we're going to do with the 10,000 is to create training in the junior secondaries that is particularly orientated to the needs of the economy. Therefore, that 2 years of extra training in the junior secondary.
And you know, I come tell about STEM school and all kind of things, and we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Man, they didn't do it. They didn't do it, then pop it down, then pop them down.
Secondary for the other 10,000 will have a heavy vocational bias, strong on work attitudes, concepts of work discipline, and the creation of skills that will be particularly identified by industry as the things of which they are short. We want to see this country can take one thing and lift it out of the quagmire of politics and let it be like a beacon summoning the nation to the solution of its own problems through self-reliance. I come back now, Mr. Speaker, to where I began, which was the problem of an age group marching forward. You have, say, 50,000 children of 15, all with their anxious parents behind them. Of the 50,000 children roughly of that age next year, instead of 9,000 with a hope and 41 to face a blank wall, at one stroke we will have lifted it to 28,000 children who will be receiving further training of one sort or another. More than 3 times in one stroke. And the key is national service, the putting back to your nation of what you gain from the privilege of education. When we talk of taxes, I say to the people, I know it is hard. And you know, it reminds me, I hear all the jokes and fine, you know, the better the bitter. And that's all what makes life worth living. But let me remind everybody so that, you know, it's a very funny thing about life, Mr. Speaker. Many a man has died of an illness because there was not a doctor to prescribe 1 dose of medicine. And many a man lives in the world today, Mr. Speaker, because there was a doctor that had the courage to say, draw 1 draft of the medicine. It will taste bad, it will be bitter, but it is the thing that will release you to the better that must come. And therefore, I say, I know the taxes are hard, but I say to a person, when you're thinking of your bet, and I hope you win it, wherever you are, whoever you are, think that that is helping to start the revolution again in education, to lift it yet again from where the torchbearers of the past have brought it up to now. If you're drawing on a cigarette, think that it is helping, that either it was going to stay down, or the condensed milk go up, or we couldn't start this great new initiative in education. We couldn't give the chance. We couldn't let the mothers see the whole light of hope dawn for the children of the next generation. Something had to pay. And rather than creep along like before, we said, let us be bold now. Let us be brave now. Let us take time and destiny by the forelock now, so that we can set tomorrow's generation free. When a person buying a car, sure, it had 76% tax before, so now it has 25% more. It's not because they don't want people to have cars, but something has to pay. And maybe somebody buying a $4,000 car, which already has 75% tax on it, maybe, or something around there, and there's another 25%, not as much as was there before. Let them think that maybe that money will be supplying perhaps 2 jobs for 2 people that have never had a job in their lives. And ask yourself, do you love your country enough for that to be worthwhile? And I say, sir, we talk of change. What is change? Change, sir, is the willingness to look at your system and have the courage to know what is wrong. More is not change. Change is to reorder the values of your life. Change is to have a vision of a new hope for a society. Change is to have the courage to invest something now in sacrifice, so that tomorrow's people may be free. Change is a matter of a vision of justice. And you talk of change. Was there change? Let us speak of change. Labor Day was change as people began to feel self-reliance. The People's Food Complex that is coming is change, because it will bring relief. That is change. Operation Grow is change. The leasehold system is there for change.
People will stop it there. So 73. This is our first feature after we see that 73. Me 73. Right? We coming in 72. It's a 73 budget. Yeah, you much thing him carrying. Just tell me how much thing, and just name one thing where you come in with, where the masses benefit offer. One. Me just say name 2, you know, 1. We have to tell big up your services. Just name 1. When you can name 1, when I tell you say needs and stuff, me I tell you say my crisis. My crisis. See? The my crisis. You have I think the minister, national security minister, tell police to shoot the youth them and don't carry them in alive. All in for the ear. The year, just hear the changes. 1, the first year. The first year. First budget.
Integrity legislation is change. The literacy.
Integrity legislation. Yeah.
Operation Grow is change. The leasehold system is there for change. The integrity legislation is change. The literacy program is change. The recognition of women's rights is change. The 40-hour work week for government workers is change. The Workers' Bank that is coming is change. The creation of equal status for all children in Jamaica is change. The law to prevent non-Jamaicans owning our land is change.
Stop it there, sir. Right now, Jamaica now own the land now, you know. And them reverse that. Say I go to do it, and them do it. Every time you see them come, them do this, the foolishness. See there? Sit there? Powell, right, I'm going to put needs. Come from UN, yes. But let me say something about needs too. Andrew, let me tell him something about this. If needs so holy and it can't solve, you know, give your thing, then it does solve a lot of things. So why the world not use needs? Why America? Why America with so much problem with identity theft problem? Why didn't they use needs? Why Canada, why UK, why them get it from them to use it? Because it's bullshit. Yeah? Bullshit. You don't go to, hey, people must even techniques. Are foolishness, garbage. Garbage. Man, this technology of power. You can take and go get your needs and where you want to go find. Carry it up a US or UK embassy, any one of them. And carry it and tell them put your feet up on the needs. And then you fly out and make them play upon the needs. And then go rent car with the needs of foreign and drive. I know say drivers there can do that in any country. I mean, say your passport were very important for you to go anyway. I mean, your voter's ID. You vote with it, you use it anywhere in Jamaica. See, so them ID they're good. You never need a needs. Bullshit. Garbage. Yeah? What make it worse so you use the TRN database find the needs and you don't want to try lock up people with needs. Garbage. Waste of money. Yeah? I'm going to listen to Sir Manley.
18-year-old vote is change. Free education for the people is change. National service where we put back is change. These are the means by which, sir, we shall achieve power for the people and freedom in our time. These are the means.
Andrew looking at the need to go power for the people and free this and free the time and stand up for the masses. No. And let them take out some little things from out of Manley things and run up and down. Great Sir Manley, Joshua Manley. And then we have a Joshua Jr. now. Yes, we have a back him 100%. Joshua Jr. We not look nothing from them. When them can't get chat. Because when they can't get chat, then them run out and spread one bag of foolishness and rumors, you know. We not work around here. Yeah? Joshua and Joshua Jr. We look at Joshua Jr. now, so it's good. Good enough, Chris. Not you, sir. Of course. So tomorrow, remember, you know, like Sir Manley that's saying, Sir Joshua that's saying, we could keep the place clean and nice and, and by the road, the rules and laws of the road and of the country. We're not going in, you will not travel. Nobody in half and a bus or do nothing like that. Just go in and nice and show them how strong it is. Yeah, Andrew, they have to send a message, man, because no more corrupt. You see, after them vote out and no more corrupted government at all must say entire politics. Sir Mark Golding are coming in now and him around. The impeachment law have to go stand up to impeach them. No care where you're there. They say corrupted back, then kick you out. That's why they don't want to come in with the law. That's why I'm turning it down. Too much of them are gone, and others, too much of them are gone. And what they want to do is PR, no work with no PR. That's why them so lying. Yeah, man, they explain to already, But all corruption, him tell you where them are deal with. What time does that start? From 10 o'clock, some people are reaching for man tonight and pitch 10 too. They might go and pitch them 10. Same. And that them for the, hey, when they make sure they reach from tonight and pitch on a tent and then when they get up on the cold stove, blaze. I want to look when I think, when I can cook and thing. Same thing. It happened 73, well, like now strike the place twice. Now it happened tomorrow morning. Again. National Stadium. Yeah. Yes, man. You have to tell them, man. You have to take care. You understand? You have to tell them. And by the way, people, I'm showing a quick little thing to know. Before we even move now, a big time, I'm showing a quick little thing, right? All right. I'm showing a quick little thing also. Let me do this. All right. I'm showing a quick little thing. You see, everything that's great enough, people, when you have something like this. Let me show you something. I'll show you something now. Want to see this? When you can't see this? When you say them can't see it. Yeah, them can't see it. Remember big up something. I want to show you something fast. That means that when you can't read that, when you can't see this, right? I remember play something, we can't say something too fast. Look on this. Yeah, right. We're just looking about now. Yeah, I still feel do it. Okay, so she's just setting up fast, yeah? All right, so I'm ready. Yes. All right, so, we're just reaching in about a lot of people here. So, we're doing things and setting up. So I could just show them a little quick thing. Erati, when we reach here, people start to reach already. We just your speech. And you know, people, man, people reaching already, man. See, it set up things, I set up, you know. Yes. That in them place are nice, you know. Yes, man. Nice place. Them are going to set up. Oh, you know what? You can get them on the back there, though. Yes, we're going around there. Yes.
He's going to come there because the podcast can't.
Oh, you want to come back around?
It's easier to come down here. I'm just on this road.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to come back around. Yes, man. So, please here, bathroom. Yeah, everything. So, security, place. Security. Yes. All right. Yeah, man. Security, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah, security, you know, some security and things. So, you understand? Yeah, man. Hey. Yeah, man. All right, so soon do the thumb drive and everything? Yeah. So, yes, man. All right. So, soon ready. Yeah, so. Yeah, we had. All right, so I'm telling you, I'm going to play this now. And it did it too, yeah? All right, so I play this. Me just play this now, Chris, because this are before 3 o'clock. This is what I set up. You remember when I have a conference, I set it up? So anything you hear about 3 o'clock, alone some not there, it documented and recorded too. Like the experiment I talk to, yeah? That's what I say you have to use when them talk and when them talk. That little not, yes. Yeah? So me dead there, and me carry everything go down there. Me carry 2 weeks, me make quick drive, 1 car, my daughter leave and just come change and put on my clothes. Me I start 6. Okay? So me dead there before even 3 o'clock, me whopping up the place. And me set up the place. And then me leave after nearly 3:30. Nobody never come. So anything where you hear before that, lie again. But me remember, don't go lie on the seat, right? So I have it there. So that's why I leave and I not say nothing. Because I say truth comes straight and lie go all over the place, right? Yes. You understand? We not follow certain things, we not follow go on there, but keep it real. Like Joshua, you know. Yeah. You see it? Yeah, man. Where you say, Chris? You still get the invite there. All right. That's enough, man. Yeah, man. See? So that Joshua, I'm telling you to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real at all time, you know? Yes. Go next. So, that's my place that me go set it up, yeah? And you notice me never have my clothes. Me just have on, because me myself and nobody, I'm going to leave nearly 3:30 after 3. Okay? So, anybody come and say them there 3 o'clock, and who, you know, so when you know, see me have the tape there, you know, on the feet, right? Me go set it up and let in people and do what I do. All right? Yes. See? And then video apart it and everything. And then me leave, come change, and then go back. Come here, do my thing. Yeah? Now nobody do my thing. Nobody can run my thing for me. Don't follow shit say. Okay? All right. Real man let's show there, you know. Remember, me not take talk from no guy, no freak, no punk, nothing at all. No you're a leader, nothing at all. One man. Real man let's. Same Chris? Yeah, man. Yeah, you understand? Yeah, man. And me like things like this, come like rebut things. So that's why I tell you, I always document things. And it's up there. Document things. So you know you discredit when you hear shit, you discredit shits. Okay? Alright. But there you know gonna eat some bicker. There. And then you know when me drop last week. So nobody watch some face. Cause me see what's down on me look. Me not play with people. Me good. Yeah? Alright. But there. Later me out here. Bless.
We in lump sum, we a beat it till they are my bane. We now make them get in and them and again. None of them boy that we none of them. We alone some rise up the bomb and
Original 40 says no, we not take rough up the cook up. From the other day, them face them a puff up. That they 3 little pig and the unfair off up. If them flip like a fool and leave them get crushed up. Meta, shut your beat, no speak, you meta hush up. Street furniture, everything's a get dust up. Limbs and shove, everything's a get brush up. When you see original East man, you must not fuck away. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to.
I'm out. Hey, yeah, Jeffrey, we don't see you know. Big up yourself, yeah? Later. Hey, Ratty, when I go and practice and treat. Let me tell you this before I leave, people. Ratty, and you, Jeffrey, you, Ratty, Grandma Wayne, Kevin, you want to make sure practice, you get up and practice, man. Just practice, play some nice tune and everything. Remember the 6th of October? Yes. So them I mean, me a David, you know, then say me a David and them a Goliaths with them, you know, them pluralize it. Now Goliath, you know, Goliaths. So we're gonna play some tune and I mean, you know, they want to play some tune and them so me, no, the 6 of them can add it to 12 in them one. So me I tell you, I think can add it to 12. Cause me, yeah, me alone, you know, so I kind of think that. So me alone play some things. So me could see where I go on. The 6th, yes. That's October the 6th, that's a Sunday, right? Yeah, man, I'm gonna come tune in, man. When I say, man, I worry. Be there later. I'm out.